Hey everybody, I am making this video and it's probably going to shake up some things in the pageant world, but we are in shaking up season, aren't we? um, so this video is going to probably be a little bit long, but it's going to be worth listening to. I think I'm going to just start with a little bit of the silencing that happens in pageantry and attempts at silencing that happens in pageantry. And then I'm going to go into my story as to why are we here today? Why am I making this video? And I'm going to start by telling you, I don't do well with passive aggressive either messages. I don't do well with attempts of silencing. And I'm not easily intimidated. And I think it's important to also state that if the truth, if a customer, participant telling the truth creates a negative view from the outside about your business, your industry, that is a problem that you need to fix. It's not the fault of the person who tells the truth. It falls on the ownership, leadership, management. You need to re-strategize how you want to make your brand work for people. I am a firm believer that if I am paying for something, I'm not going to sign away my rights to certain things. So like, for example, I'm not ever signing an NDA on something that I'm just paying for. What am I getting? Are you paying? If you're paying me, depending on what you're paying me and depending on what I can't say, that's how that goes. That's how that works for me. All right. So, sorry. Let's get into it. So first, there's a silencing that happens in the pageant community that you won't hear people talk about because the pageant community is small and people like to shun people and ice people out, not allow them to compete because they feel like it's going to look bad on their brand. And I will say this again for the millionth, well, it wasn't a million times, but I will repeatedly say this. If someone's speaking the truth about their lived experience, it's supposedly making your brand look bad or your organization look bad, you need to get better. You need to do better, okay? Today, I will be sharing my lived truths. And when I say lived truths, please believe I have receipts for everything. If you would like to see receipts, I guess I can share those too, but I have receipts for everything. I also would like to say that we as humans and as women, especially women participating in pageantry, we must carefully vet systems and see what it is that is expected of us as far as how will you have to compromise who you are in order to participate. If you are okay with the compromises that are expected, sure. Go ahead, do what you do. Do you? If you are not okay with the expectations, you can still do you, especially if you're not in violation of anything written. So I'm somebody who has always done me. My impact, my role in this world and my purpose has never asked for me to be silent, has never asked for me to just sit on the sidelines. I may be strategic in my timing, but silence does not suit me well. Okay. This was precipitated by a few things, and I will get all into that. And you want to hear all these stories here. So, silencing happens in pageantry because people want to protect their brands, and those same people are not always providing the service that is supposed to be given. You may not have the same experience. You may not be respected as an individual. You may be told you can't do X, Y, and Z explicitly. Otherwise, you won't have your title or whatnot. Okay, so for context, I would like to provide that I am currently Mrs. Wisconsin American, and there's a story that goes along with that too. It is in this video, so watch until the very end. So The silencing happens because people want to protect their brand. And then people who love the pageant industry or like participating in pageants may just not say certain things publicly, but they may say something to someone in private, and because they want to compete still in other systems. People in the pageant community talk amongst each other. They talk to different directors, different systems, and word can spread, like a bad word can spread around about you fast. And when people feel like they have the power and authority to hold something over your head or take something away from you, of course they move differently. I have always operated in the sense that if it's meant for me to have, I'm going to have it. You can't take away anything that I have earned. If I have photos, you just can't. You can try. You also can't make me look bad. Like, I stand behind every single thing that I say. It is not meant for everybody to like it, and you don't necessarily have to agree with it. The silencing also happens because people don't want to feel like they're messing up relationships in general. And the same thing, if you telling the truth ruins the relationship you have with somebody, that wasn't a real deep relationship. We like to loosely use the term friends and sisterhood in pageantry, but that's not always the case, because we have I have observed as a pageant participant a lot of clique-like behavior, a lot of mean girl behavior that happens in pageantry, and I am not going to just stand for anything. Okay, like I'm not the silence type. Like, you can't silence me. Uh, I have always spoken up, especially in regards to politics. This has gone on for a long time. Like, baby, scroll back on my personal page and see. Um, it's just one of the things I'm very passionate about. I believe that for educating and informing the public about what's actually happening, and if you have a platform, or if you have something that people will listen, more people will listen to you, utilize it. That's the whole point. That's the point. That's why I do it. Like, if more people will listen, I'm going to say it. And I'm a big believer in right is right and wrong is wrong. Okay. So anyhow, how does this all come about? So this came about because, and also remember, I said my live truth, and I always have receipts. I was sent an email saying that I need to either remove all my political posts from my personal page, y'all, from my personal page, or I need to remove all my pageant posts from my personal page, because I'm basically pushing my own political agenda. And I asked for, show me examples, and what exactly do you mean? In so many words. And I was sent screenshots of posts that, one, did not have me in crown or sash, did not give any inkling that I was Mrs. Wisconsin American, and that were my own personal views and opinions. And, it was told that, there's something in the contract about good moral character. And I was like, how is that defined? Like, who was the arbitrator of that? And, they like to throw legal. And I was like, I have a legal team as well. Sometimes I think people forget how well I am connected, and also what I am capable of doing. Like the things that sometimes are said in order to induce fear does not work on me. I'm super grown. I'm very educated. I mean, like, right there, that's my doctorate's degree. Doctorate's in medical science, okay? But anyway, so in so many words, I said the likelihood of me removing any of those posts it's very low, very low, very low. Because I don't have the luxury to walk through this world and be quiet, sit on the side in a corner, and act like I'm not negatively impacted by what's going on, or that the people I love and care for, the communities that I love and care for, are not negatively impacted. If you have that luxury to just sit and look cute and just post yourself in your crown and sash, go right ahead. But what I'm going to do is call out the wrong, and I'm going to call out what I'm going to share what needs to be shared. Call it a political agenda. If my political agenda is being a better human, what the heck is going on right now with the current administration. I'm a black woman with a black family. I have friends who are DACA recipients and who are immigrants. I have friends who are disabled, who have children who are disabled. I have family members and friends who are part of the federal government, like a federal government employee, or who is part of the military. You want me to be quiet? You want me to not say anything? Yeah, that's a no. And I'm gonna tell you why it's a no. Because see, this is the thing. People forget who they're talking to half the time. Sometimes when they're talking to me, I think they forget who they're talking to. I am educated. I am connected, and I am very confident in my stance. I stand behind everything I say. I do think some of this was fueled by me unfriending a lot of pageant people on my personal page well before this message even came to me via email. However, you got the right one. You got the right one. Like I said, I'm not removing anything. My job, sometimes getting messages here, so I'm gonna have to like cut this out. Let me write this down. 11:20. Cut that out. But anyway, oh my gosh, I totally lost my track. But I'm basically going to say what I want to say, and you can't erase me because I've already competed. As much as you want to. And it's so funny because I asked for like a direct phone call, and of course I'm not getting a direct phone call. It's nice to put things in writing too, because now you have to share what your real thoughts are. And I'm actually going to post just up here the screenshots of the shots of some of the posts that were problematic. And like I said, none of them have me tagged. Yes, some of them have cuss words in it. Do you think your kids don't cuss? And do you think the cuss words that I have are the worst cuss words that they see? If your kid is on Twitter or any social media platform listening to some music, they see cussing. Also, cussing is not a indicator of somebody's moral character, right? Actually, cussing usually shows high intelligence. I like to use colorful words. Not all the time, but some of the time. And I like to emphasize things. But yeah, so the posts that I'm sharing are those. And I think that people feel like they can take something from you that they can't take away. So, and since people are being petty and nitpicky and want to control a narrative, especially during Black History Month, who the nerve and the audacity? Figure I may as well just tell it all, right? So, first things first. April 6, 2024, I was actually crowned Mrs. Wisconsin America. American was another participant, and the person who is currently Mrs. Wisconsin America was second runner-up. So we're going to do the math. So do the math this way. Okay. Mrs. America, Mrs. American, first runner-up, second runner-up. So this is where the current Mrs. America was at. Some things to note. That one's friend, I think they're best friends. I could be wrong, but I know they're friends. She was the judge's coordinator, and during the actual pageant, which was you're not gonna be able to find a video. I probably have some friends that can show pieces. I'm gonna reach out to a couple people because we may have some snips to also provide proof and receipts. But if you're watching a pageant, you go and see somebody come up to the stage that was the judge's coordinator, who's also best friends with the person who was second runner-up. She was like, something doesn't look right. And we're like, how? They do a recount, and what was read on the stage was me, American, first runner-up, second runner-up. That was double-checked during the actual pageant. We take crowning photos, which I have evidence of. Actually, we take crowning photos, and I'm in my sash. I'm with my family. I take pictures with my family on stage, which you may not be aware of this. There's no pictures of me and my family on stage because like all those photos we didn't get. The photos that were taken during the pageant where I was crowned Mrs. Wisconsin America, like from the higher photographer, I don't have. So that always is going to annoy me. But my husband and my kids and my cousin was there. And I do have some photos with my sash because my cousin is also a photographer. And we got some photos around, after. We also have the photos so we did crowning photos with the original way that it was read, right? The right way. We get to the hotel because there's supposed to be a reception. And, I'm greeting people, getting congratulated. You get the disbursement of prizes. And what happens is I see that person that was in second runner-up, who was the current Mrs. Wisconsin America, that second runner-up, her and 3 other queens that competed in the Mrs. category just leave. So that tells me one of 2 things, because I got copies. They had no intention of going to that reception because they didn't win, and they weren't happy with the winners. And then the other thing it tells, now this part may be speculation, but it fits, is that maybe they already knew that something was going to be changed. So we're at the place. I'm trying to load my car. I'm trying to make sure I'm entertaining the people. I'm hungry because I ate lunch and breakfast, but it is late now and I'm hungry. A couple hours into the time of waiting, we didn't have any reception. All the Mrs. contestants are called into a room. And they are basically told that, there was a misscore. Tanya was actually Mrs. Wisconsin America. Okay. I take the things off and I'm like, all right, because I'm hangry. And at the end of the day, baby, none of this defines me. Like, I am dope in real life. Okay. This is not my whole identity. Whatever, right? That's kind of how, oh, no. You are American. She's America. The person who was American now loses their entire time. They found 10 points because, there was a gut feeling that the director had at the time. There was a gut feeling. So they sat and they counted and they found 10 points. This auditor had been with them for years. And I'm like, okay. It was weird. It was very weird. There were emotions, there were tears, because I'm sure people were hungry as well. I had tears of frustration because there were some other people that were being very passive aggressive. I'm like, y'all need to stop. You need to stop. Because first of all, y'all weren't even in the running, so y'all need to be quiet. So remember, I told you that she went to go eat with these other people who were also competing. They were, what do you call it? The peanut gallery? I guess that's, and I'm like, stop. And because I am somebody who was like, whatever, congratulations, here you go. I guess if the score was really messed up, I would want it fixed for me too. But if you also didn't tell me, I wouldn't have known. There was nothing that went on that made me think oh my gosh, these results were horrible. Excuse me, my friend who made first runner up was the one who was like, no one questioned the results, but them. Which is funny, right? Because at the end of the day, and this is how I truly feel, baby, you may think it, but you ain't out interview me. You're not more confident than me. I have a presence. It's just what it is. I have that. I do. And I think that was evidenced by when we went to nationals, who placed and who didn't. It may be a slight brag, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And I think some of it was not only the optics and things possibly were, I'm not going to say that. I think it's the optics for one. You definitely have people who are on the outside who question, what are we really doing and how are we changing the number? And if my friend had not posted the video showing the changing of the crowning, y'all wouldn't have heard nothing, because the director at the time was like, she's going to make a video and explain, and she didn't. And she actually didn't even like that video being posted. She didn't. There was a time she had blocked both the first runner-up and the original American because she didn't like that video. She didn't like what people were saying because it made her look bad. Never mind the just disruption that it occurred. I mean, that had occurred during that, like, never mind the other people. So why did I participate, right? Because I'm like, F this, right? And my friend was like, Jackie, if you got to stay the title holder because we haven't had a Black queen since, 2015 in the Mrs. Wisconsin America system. And you need to like, do this for us, okay? And I'm like, all right, fine. So I go to nationals. I do the thing. And it is, I mean, that's what it is. Now, what has recently happened is, outside of these emails, is she really made a post, the new director, made a post and covered me up. How you cover up the person who did the best? Like, make it make sense. And then during Black History Month, the audacity. And what's so funny is that I don't know if she thought it was going to hit how it was supposed to hit. But somebody contacted me and was like, what is going on? Because let's be for real. People who are passive aggressive continue to be passive aggressive. I said we could do a phone call. But at this point, we don't need to talk. We don't even need to talk. Move how you want to. I'm going to finish being Mrs. Wisconsin American. Because again, like I said, I already competed at the state. I already competed at nationals. I already have top 15 placement. I already have all my photos, all my video. Okay? You don't have to like certain things, but there's a way to talk to somebody who's grown. That's another thing. I don't do well with disrespect. And passive aggressive disrespect is going to get you a result that you probably didn't want. And in my honest opinion, her energies and efforts should be spent on fixing the state image and recruitment. But now this video is going to be out, and people can do with this information what they see fit. Again, I say vet it carefully, because as much as a brand try to make it seem like you can make them look bad, they can make you look bad. And I'm speaking out because I stand for something. I'm standing up for myself. And I will not stop posting political posts. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. And in most instances, if you don't like what you see, you know what they have? This unfriend button, if we're friends, an unfollow button. You can hide posts from me. But sometimes people are looking. And again, the truth cannot create a negative light unless the truth is the truth, right? And you need to change something in your organization. I hope everybody has the day they deserve. And what else? I'm feeling very Kendrick Lamar-ish right now. I am a Gemini. I mean, I keep saying the most interesting thing about me is not pageantry. It's just not. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I just am not going to be silenced. So, again, I'm sharing my truth. I have receipts. So, you can say what you want to say if it's true, because it's true. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just so excited to see where this goes.